It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Hello, welcome to Raleigh Rob's Military Transition. Today we're going to discuss the initial separation and retirements briefing. Even if you don't have an approved retirement or separation, it's good to get started on this initial brief, as it's got tons of links and tons of information that you're going to need to know to navigate through your transition. You can either access this by the retirements link or the separations link. In this video, we're going to break it down into a couple videos of this briefing since it's so intensive. We're going to go through multiple sections during each video, so follow along. Since we're working on my military transition today, we're going to look at retirements. Then we're going to go to apply for retirements. This one's a little bit buried. And at the very bottom of this, we got the initial retirements brief. The separation brief looks pretty much exactly the same. So the first thing we're going to cover today is we're going to cover active and inactive flight records. We're going to cover congressional mandate of Transition Assistance Program requirements, which we discussed in previous videos. Your DD Form 214, Certificate of Release of Discharge from Active Duty. So first we're going to look at the active duty and inactive flight personnel flight records. This one's very easy. This one, on both separations and retirements, you're going to go ahead and contact your HARMS office. Right here, you're going to contact your HARMS office to go ahead and request a copy of your flight records. Next, we're going to talk about the Transition Assistance Program. Like we said in previous videos, there's two important things you want to get started right away, even if you're haven't hit the button or it's too early to hit the button for separation retirements. And that is your records review, foot stomp again, right? And doing the Transition Assistance Program. Without doing the Transition Assistance Program, you can't get out of the Air Force. It's a mandate by Congress that we complete this. Okay? This needs to be completed within 12 months of separation or retirements, or 90 days before your date of separation. That's the maximum latest time to get this done. You can take Transition Assistance Program throughout your career. It's recommended that you go at least once, but if you can go twice, even better. These are the different areas that you have to complete and tap, and that's your individualized initial counseling. Then once you have that counseling, they're going to go ahead and create a pre-counseling, and then you're going to go into your workshops. So what they do is when you're going into this pre-separations counseling, they're going to go in and they're going to see what your intentions are when you leave the Air Force. Those intentions might be, I want to go right into a job. Or maybe that's, I want to be a full-time student and get my degree. There's so many different ways. Or maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. They're going to build you a package of classes to take based on your needs and wants as soon as you leave the military service. To get started with this, you just contact your local Airman Family Readiness Center. They're going to go ahead and schedule you for that pre-separation brief, and they're going to go through all this stuff that I'm telling you right here. If you're at a GSU or you want to get all tapped out, you can also go to right here, tapevents.org/courses. You can go ahead and take the courses digitally, but it's highly encouraged that you go in person. That way you can go ahead and network. You can talk to a physical teacher and ask questions and do all those type of things. I'm going to, an example, I went ahead and did the VA benefits online because I wanted to get my transition assistance program already complete, that I can go ahead and apply for SkillBridge, because if it's not complete, you can't apply for SkillBridge. Keep that in mind. So So I went ahead and took the class online. But at the same time, that's one of the most valuable courses that you can take. They're going to tell you how to navigate the VA. They're going to tell you how to get a home loan. They're going to tell you how to go and apply for your disability. They're going to walk you through all those processes and how to do that. So it's really important that you also go to that class as well. So I'm going to be attending that on top of doing the online thing. Maybe you're at a GSU. Maybe you're not near a base. This is going to be your only option. So make sure you go ahead and click on that link, save it to your favorites, and start taking your TAP course ahead of time. Okay? Commander's fact sheet. I really recommend that you go ahead and give this commander fact sheet to the commander. A lot of commanders are new to the command, never approved TAP, but they're the ones that have to finalize your TAP. So they need to know what they're doing. They need to know the questions to ask you. It's almost like an interview with your commander to make sure you're good to go when you leave service. So go ahead and make sure you send that commander fact sheet to your commander ahead of time before you complete your TAP course in full, that they're fully aware of their roles and responsibilities with this program. These are other related sources. You're going to get a lot of these sources when you're in TAP. So go ahead and work ahead. As you can see up here on the top of my browser, I already got retirement planning, and all the links are here. Boots for Business, financial planning, like everything that we go through in TAP, it's up here and ready to go. So go ahead and jot those links down. They're very important to keep it around. Go back and, if I'm going through this stuff too fast, just go back and read it. You need to read. You need to take ownership in your separation and your transition. I'm just trying to give you those resources and try to give you the hard nuggets within each link that you can be prepared when it's time to go ahead and do your navigating the base, to do your final outs and complete your out processing checklist. I want you ready. I know my learning technique, I don't like to read. I don't think anyone likes to read. I think developing content like this will go ahead and assist us in understanding everything and knowing what we need to do. That's why I'm here for you. So we're going to go back. That's TAP. Now I said records review and I said 214 are very similar. We talked about in the first video that I did that records review is really important. Everything that's captured on your records review is going to be captured on your 214. You remember that? That's kind of a refresher of the previous course, right? Your 214, if you watched that previous video and you saw that Army guy and he didn't have all those things on his 214, it all boils down to doing your 214 review. So let's click on this 214 review. When can you do this? You have to have an approved retirement in order for this 214 worksheet to show up. But here we go. Once you're within 179 days of your approved retirement or separation date, you'll be able to access, review, and complete your 214 worksheet in the virtual military personnel flight. Please ensure that you read it carefully and provide your local personnel office any source documents that are not contained in either your electronic record or your PRADA record. I didn't really talk about PRADA record on that previous records review, but you do want to bounce Watson Mill PDS, which is on that records review rip that I showed you, along with your PRADA record, and bounce them back and forth to make sure that they match. And if anything's missing on either of them, do exactly this. Go to your commander support staff or your military personnel flight and get these things updated in your records. And what did I say? If they're too busy, go into that records review in VMPF, and you're going to go ahead and hit those hyperlinks that you can go ahead and correct your duty history, your TDY history, all those hard-hitting items. Because at the end of the day, you want to prove that you were in Iraq. You want to prove that you were in Africa. You want to prove wherever where you were deployed. Make sure that it's documented. Document. It's going to pay off big later when you need the VA because you got messed up in those locations and you couldn't take care of yourself and you need medical care. And the VA is not willing to give it to you because it's not on your 214. So make sure it's on your 214. You're going to access it at your virtual MPF. You're going to click on your separation or retirements link that I can show you here in a second. You'll read the statement for your 214 worksheet, then you'll go through it and you'll go step by step and make those corrections. Create a user ID and password to access VMPF. This is huge, guys. I'm going to say it again. Create a user ID and password to access VMPF. Guess where your 214 is once it's approved? It's in VMPF. If you don't have a username and password and you're already out of service, it's going to be really hard to get your 214 on your separation or retirement date because you will not have access to a CAT card anymore. So make sure that you got your user ID and password for VMPF. Prior to turning in your CAT, departing your home station, use the link below to request. It's right there, guys. Create it. If not, there's other options, but like I said, they take time. So you've done your 214. Option 1, you can get it. It'll be made official. You'll receive an email on how you'll be able to download the form via VMPF with your username and password. Second option, once you're separated and retired, you can access the entire master file without a common access card through the Department of Veteran Affairs website called eBenefits. For more information, click there. Get your password. Usually, when you go to do your pre-separation brief, the Airman Family Readiness Center is really good at ensuring that you get a username and password for eBenefits, because that's going to be your gateway to every other app. TRICARE Online, VMPF, access to your previous records. It's all going to be in eBenefits. Option 3, former active duty airmen or retired or separated after 1 October 2004 can request a copy of your 214 via address, snail mail. Don't get to this point. Go ahead and get your username and password that you can go ahead and just get your 214. That you don't have to go and mail something and wait for your 214 to come. Retired on reserves. I'm not going to cover this too much. This is mainly focused toward active duty, but you guys go ahead and look at your stuff. I know you guys probably have multiple 214s based on active duty time and non-active duty time. So just make sure it's there. All right, corrections and finalizing your 214. If you believe your record contains errors or is unjust, you may apply for correction to your 214 via DD Form 149. Let's not get to this point, guys. Like I said, records review RIP. Study. Look what's missing. Look what's not there. If you went to a TDY and your whole unit got a decoration and you don't have a decoration there, look for it, find it, go to the archives for every base and get it. That way you can go ahead and get your 214 worksheet updated along with your records review. We're months out. Go ahead and study that records review RIP. All right. It's really important to go through all of these links. I can't foot stomp it more, man. You just got to do it. Dental counseling statement. Let's take a look. All right. As part of your virtual out processing checklist, your dental office will review your records, annotate dental clearance on their standard form 603 in your dental records. The dental office will indicate completion by signing off your virtual out processing checklist. It's pretty simple. They're not going to see you, though, until you're at least 180 days out. This really concerns me with SkillBridge because you're starting SkillBridge 180 days out. So whatever location is, make sure you're close to a base that you can go ahead and do your dental out processing appropriately, okay? You apply for DVA for required treatment within 90 days of discharge or release from active duty. It'll signify on your 214 that you had this dental clearance 90 days out in case you need additional medical care once you leave. Your medical and dental records. Normally, you can't do this very far out. You can request your medical record at any time, at least your virtual one, for free. If you go to TRICARE Online, you can say you want your whole record and go ahead and grab it and look at it in case you're trying to prepare for the VA or any of those type of things. Your military treatment facility is responsible for mailing the retiree and separatee health records to the Air Force Treatment Record Processing Center for further distribution and Department of Veteran Affairs. If you are transferring under Palace Chase or Palace Front program, ensure you provide a copy of your separation orders and a copy of your endorsed Air Force Form 1288 application for ready reserve assignment to your MTF. This will assist them in transferring your records to the appropriate gaining unit. Thanks again for coming to Raleigh Rob's Military Transition. See you on the next one.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.